Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It's Grandpa Bobby.
Grandpa Scott. And we want to welcome you to our live stream. Hope everyone can hear us okay.
Yep.
If you can, please let us know in the chat. And if you can see us both, the chat is open. We're going to wait a few minutes to give more folks a chance to sign in because we have a lot to share with you. And we also want to hear from you today.
Right. So let us know if you can hear us and see us.
As you can see, we're dressed in our spring out ensembles.
Yeah, so happy spring to everybody.
Absolutely. So we're still waiting for a few people to sign in. Again, if you can hear us, please let us know. We want to make sure that this is going through and that you can see us. Hi there.
Hi, Katya. Can you hear us? We can hear. Great.
There, great.
Now, can you see and see? Well, there you go. Success.
we wanted to make sure you could see our lovely new spring ensembles, okay?
So why don't we begin?
Yeah, first, thank you for joining in. We have a lot to cover. It's been a while since we had a live stream.
Yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us.
Yeah, it was one of the things that we're going to do is share a little bit with you about our 2024 travel plans.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Grandpa Bobby, you want to share a little bit about those?
We are booked for the rest of the year. We have gotten the travel bug has definitely bitten us. Yeah. So as you know, we recently took a cruise on Virgin Voyages, and we have a lot of videos. If you haven't already seen them, we really invite you to come take a look at those on our YouTube channel. But we've decided to book another cruise. It was kind of a last minute thing. So in early May, we are going to cruise on Carnival Cruises down the Mexican Riviera for a week. So we thought it'd be good to, show you a different type of cruise and compare and contrast and, maybe give some insight into those.
Yeah. And again, hi to everybody that's signing in and saying hi to us. As you know, Grandpa Scott's vision isn't the greatest with glasses, so
I'll be watching the screen, and we'll definitely we're going to speak for a while, but then we'll try to answer some questions too toward the end.
Yes.
So where else are we going?
Oh, and we are going to Alaska,
mm-hmm.
And we can't wait to share this with you. We're actually going to be staying part-time on a private island, and we're going to be going out and seeing whales and bear. We're going to go up and we're going to do a seaplane flight over the volcano up there.
That should be interesting.
And the city of Sitka. It should be a wonderful time, and we can't wait to tape it and share it with you. So look for that Alaska trip to come up too, and that's going to be in
early June.
Right?
And then we get back just in time to pack our bags again. In mid-July, we're going to be taking a 6-week road trip. Now, last summer, if you joined us, we took a road trip again, and we did that through the Northwest United States and into Canada. Well, this time we're going a little further afield. We're going to Great Britain and Ireland on a road trip. Now, Grandpa Scott's going to be doing all the driving on the wrong side of the road. So that should be a video in and of itself.
True.
So we're right now researching different castles and cliffs and villages and things that we think of seeing. So if you have any suggestions, we'd love hearing from you about where you think we should travel.
We're going to be doing that for how long?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Yep. That means 6 weeks of Grandpa Scott driving turnabout. What are they called? Roundabouts. And I watched some videos, and some of those are 3 and 4 lanes.
It'll be an adventure. I'll have the camera rolling, although we may have to bleep out some of the comments. And then when we come back, we're going to be doing another shorter road trip through a part of New England, and primary focus will be on Boston and down into
Upper Connecticut, but that should be a wonderful road trip, and we'll be happy to share that with you.
And then we're going to close out the year with a very special trip. It's actually Grandpa Scott's birthday in December.
Can you believe it?
And he's turning 75.
Can you believe that?
So my present to him is he's always wanted to see those European Christmas markets. So we're going to take a 3-week trip, and we're going to go to England, France, Germany, and Belgium to see the different Christmas markets. So that should be really special. And we look forward to making some videos for you on that.
Absolutely. And hi to everybody new that's come in. Really glad to have you here.
And so that should close out the year. I think that's a lot of travel. And I saw one comment about, what do we do that we can travel so much? Well, Grandpa Scott and I own our own interior architecture consulting business. Now, we don't travel extravagantly. We travel on a budget, on a shoestring. We always look for bargains, but we want to let you know that we do pay for everything ourselves. Nobody has offered us any free trips.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what the agenda will be for 2004. Believe it or not, we are booking 2025
but we'll
already,
save
but we'll save that.
Yeah, we'll save that for another video.
Another bit of exciting news. We're going to be celebrating in May 2 years on YouTube. And in May, we are going to become podcasters, folks.
If you can believe it.
If you can believe it or not. Our new podcast will be called Heart to Heart, and the focus of that will be on, of course, travel, but also travels through life. And what got us thinking about this podcast was many of the comments that you wonderful people have submitted to us, not just asking, and Grandpa's here, about how we met and how did we keep a relationship of 45 years. We did, because basically I give in a lot. But
not true.
We thought we would focus a little bit on all of those travels and travels through life. And one of the things that we wanted to ask you, and that's kind of the theme of this live stream, is we'd like you to talk about or offer suggestions that you'd like to have us cover in the podcast.
Yeah, what sort of topics would you like to hear from us? Based on our perspective, either as a married couple, a gay couple, an old couple. But just what are some of the insights that you would like us to share in a podcast that would make it meaningful for you to hear?
Yeah, and again, and it can be questions about travel too. That is, we just want to be able to respond in greater detail and more depth through so many of those really fantastic comments that you all have been posting to our videos.
So all topics are open. And if you have some ideas, you can share them with us. Just email us at 2gaygrandpastravel@gmail.com. And that's TWO, gay grandpas, plural, travel @gmail.com. We welcome all suggestions. Would love to hear from you.
Yeah, basically it's our YouTube and Instagram handle @gmail.com. So please send those in. We'd love to hear what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
And because we want this Heart to Heart podcast to be not just ours, but yours also, because you all have been so supportive and so wonderful.
Yep.
And we appreciate it.
And while you're at it, we'd also like to hear your insights or ideas about our current YouTube channel. Yeah. We're going on 2 years, and we think we're doing our best and trying to improve it all the time. But we would really welcome your suggestions on what do you like about what you've been seeing? What more could we bring to you, or how better could we make our channel for you to make it more enjoyable for you?
Absolutely. So you can jot some things down here in the chat if you want, or if you'd like to, you can send them to us at 2gaygrandpastravel@gmail.com. And it's like Grandpa Bobby had mentioned, we run a business. And the way we know if our business is doing well is based upon feedback from our clients. Now, you're not our clients, you're our world family. But we put this YouTube channel out because we wanted to share. And we would like to know if we're sharing,
hitting
the mark,
or where we could get better. We always try to improve ourselves, and as you can watch the stream of our videos over time, I think we've gotten a little better.
Yeah, a little better.
We're trying. So any suggestions you might have would be really helpful.
And that leads us to also where we're going to ask you for some feedback on the term is merch.
Merch.
Merch. I keep wanting to say merchandise, but merch. We've had comments from a lot of folks earlier on about, hey, do you have mugs? Well, we do. We have actually designed the logo for the mug, which will include our motto, "Travel Your Heart," and we're setting up our store and planning to put it out again in May for our second YouTube anniversary. And one of the things that we'll be doing on those mugs is we've been fortunate and blessed in our lives, and we want to, whatever money is raised, we're going to give 25% of it to the Trevor Project. Some of you may know about the Trevor Project, which offers emotional support and suicide prevention for LGBTQ young people. And we think they do a wonderful job, and we want to help support them. And then because we have a lot of folks who support us in the world, or part of our world family, we also will be giving 25% of the proceeds from the mugs to Doctors Without Borders, because they do so much wonderful work to folks who have been devastated by disasters, either natural or man-made, unfortunately. So those will be the two charities that we want to support.
So in addition to the mugs, we've been asking ourselves, well, gee, what other sort of merch would people like? Would you like travel water bottles? Would you like T-shirts, caps? Some people have mentioned even Christmas ornaments because they know how much we love Christmas. But if you could let us know, what would you like to see in our little store that we're going to set up? It's all new to us, so we're open to suggestions. And as Grandpa Scott is saying, we're trying to gear this toward benefiting you and making it worth your while. Yeah. So we'd love to hear from you on that.
While benefiting a few charities and helping out and paying it forward.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I've been trying to follow the chat a little bit. Some of the questions are really kind of cute. One was like, have you ever considered traveling in an RV or a trailer? Oh, dear Lord, you don't know the half of it. Grandpa Scott watches all of those YouTube videos on taking a van and converting it into a travel video. Oh my God.
Yeah, I do. I want to convert a van, and so that we can travel. It'd be easy, of course, here in North America, Central America, and South America, and just drive and go see things and take those off the beaten path roads.
Now, you have to understand, over the years, Grandpa Scott and I have renovated a lot of homes. I am so done with construction and renovation. I'm at an age, don't I get to rest?
Well, you know what? We could just buy a new one then. How's that? I want to be sympathetic to Grandpa Bobby. How many support me in asking Grandpa Bobby to buy us a new travel van?
Oh, dear. Put it on the list. Okay. I saw another question, which was great. It says, how did you know you were each other's true love? Easy. He told me.
True.
Very simple. Like, oh, okay. Grandpa Scott basically said, we're going to spend the rest of our life together. And okay.
That's exactly what I said. And the funny thing about Grandpa Bobby was when I said it, we were hugging and he gave me this kind of pat on the back, like, yeah. But who was right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, 45 years later, I guess the proof is in the pudding. There was another question is, what inspires you all your life? Well, I guess we inspire each other. We've talked about it before, but when we lived in San Francisco, we had a lot of friends, and we lived through the AIDS crisis, and we lost a lot of friends, a lot of friends who didn't make it to the age of 40. So we decided that we were going to live our life for them, and to really squeeze every experience out of life and really live it to the fullest because they couldn't. So when we say travel your heart, a lot of that means not just your own heart, but we're traveling it for them, seeing for them. So that inspires us every day. We woke up this morning. So yeah, that's our inspiration to keep going and to keep seeing everything.
And another little shout out to some other people, and that would be our daughters, our son-in-laws, and our grandkids. They bring such inspiration and joy to our lives.
Yep.
And we're, like I said, folks, we're very fortunate and we know it.
Yep, that's true. We'd like to share with others too.
Yeah.
Another question we had is, we get this question a lot. What is your favorite place to travel to? And what do we always answer?
The next one. And it's true.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been to so many wonderful places, both here and abroad.
I'd say we've been about 22 countries abroad,
Now
and about 42 states. And we're always looking to add to the list.
Yeah, we always felt that travel, and I mean, we seriously mean this, travel enriches you in ways that you may not understand or even comprehend until weeks, months, years later. But you don't have to travel to some foreign destination. And I hope that this comes across in some of our videos. Just hiking locally, just going out to some beautiful spot with someone you love or a group of friends and having a picnic and watching the sunset.
Yeah, you would be surprised how many adventures are right in your own backyard. Yeah. And that's why we try to mix up our videos with some more exotic locales, with some more local. Yeah. In fact, we have a lot, now that it's springtime and the weather's getting nicer, we have some local adventures that we have planned, and just to offset the other travel, because we know everyone can't travel afar as often. We're very fortunate. The kitties are no longer living with us. So we have that flexibility for greater opportunity.
Yeah. And that's also why we enjoy sharing them with you folks.
Yep. Well, another question was, how many languages do we know? Oh my God, we're so embarrassed by this. One.
Well, we speak English.
Well, he kind of speaks English.
Yeah. I had 3 years of German.
And I had 4 years of French. Je parle français un petit peu.
Don't ask. Okay, but when we did go to Germany, it was surprising how much I remembered and I could speak. For me, however, though, in Germany, they were speaking so fast. I'm like, ooh. And I guess so many people could see that look on my face, like, slow down.
As you're holding our Google Translator.
They did, and I am one of my goals for this year, resolutions, as we said, was to learn more Spanish.
Yeah, and we find we always, no matter where we go, it's a foreign country, we try to learn some key phrases or some new words. My gosh, we were visiting Czech Republic. What was it in our favorite word in the Czech Republic? Whatever. It's very challenging, but we make sure we learn those because it's always good to greet people in their own language. Now, what we find is so many times that people we go to visit with, they want to practice their English. So they want to speak English to us. So I think as long as you go in and at least know some key phrases, some key words to be polite, people will be very open to you.
Yeah, unlike here in the United States, so many times when you go into stores in other countries, those stores are not just stores. Those are basically people's homes. That's how they approach it. And when you go into someone's home, you should greet them. And it's wonderful, bonjour, whatever the language is in their tongue. And you'd be surprised how that impacts their experience with you. It's not retail. That's where, if it's the cheese shop, if it's the bread shop, whatever it is.
It's their avocation. It's their way of life. And they take great pride in that. Or in a restaurant, waiters take great pride in their profession. And just reaching out to those people, being polite and showing an interest in them, you get great returns in that investment of your little bit of effort. Another question was, when did we start traveling? Well, way back in the last century, we did our first major trip to Italy in 1984. Now, this was before the internet was invented, before there were cell phones. So how did we do it, Grandpa?
Oh, you wrote letters and you sent the letters with airmail stamps so they get there in time, or you called. And you always had to be careful that you called at the time that was appropriate for the country that you were calling to. You did not want to call when it was convenient for you here in the States, because that sometimes could lead to problems.
Yeah, and they had very few guidebooks. And when we went to Italy, they weren't even on the euro. They were on the lira. So it was quite an adventure. But every year it's gotten easier, and oh my God, the internet has been such a godsend in terms of information. And YouTube. We watch endless YouTube travel videos. We'll, say, show us traveling in this country or that country, and that inspires us. It gives us a lot of information, and sometimes it leads us to things that we hadn't even thought about before.
Because
where was our most recent adventure, Grandpa?
Oh, senior moment. That would have been our cruise.
Yes, we just got back.
Duh. That would have been our cruise, our first ever cruise on Virgin Voyages. And we did a series of videos. I hope some of you have watched those. It was such a great cruise.
It was an eye-opening experience. It was our very first cruise, and we really enjoyed it.
We're dedicated road trippers. By that, we like getting in the car and going out and just heading out and driving. But it's nothing for us to do 5,000 miles in a road trip. And so for us to, step back and say, hey, let's do a cruise, was a big step.
Yeah.
But we were not disappointed. And we did a lot of research on what cruises we wanted to go on.
Yeah, because we're usually what Grandpa refers to as independent travelers. We don't go with a guide. We kind of go on our own time. And we always resist that idea of going in a group. So it was a very pleasant experience and a real surprise.
But I don't want anyone to think that going in with a travel group is a bad thing. No, it can be a wonderful thing. If, let's say, you're a beginning traveler and you're going to be going abroad, going with a group can be very beneficial.
Absolutely.
It can build up your comfort level. It can get you familiar with the process of going through customs. I mean, through all kinds of things. So,
especially the first time abroad, it's a different bag.
Yeah,
it's a whole new experience, and it's always easier to do it with someone or in a group.
Yeah, especially if you're a solo traveler.
Yeah.
And you're with the group, there's that level of support and comfort when you travel with people. So when we talk about being independent, this is us after traveling a whole heck of a lot.
Yep.
All right?
Funny question was, are you museum people? Well, that's a funny story for me to tell. I love art museums. Absolutely. Grandpa Scott is the type that loves to sit in the cafe and people watch on the piazza. Literally, I had to drag him through the Prado, running to see the Velázquez. Like, no, just one more. But I finally got him. We went to the Reina Sofia Museum in Madrid. And what did we see, Grandpa?
Oh, Picasso's Guernica.
Yeah, Grandpa's favorite painting. And he saw how overwhelming and impressive art could be. So, yes, we've gone to the Uffizi. We've gone twice to the Louvre. But I have to understand Grandpa's tolerance. Just like, me as an architect, I love to visit cathedrals. You can only do so much in one day with Grandpa Scott. And, I think that's true of when you're in a relationship and you're traveling with someone, it has to be a yin and a yang and a balance. So when we were first in Italy, the very first time, and I had a list of all my Bramantes, my Brunelleschis, my Michelangelos, and we were seeing one church after another, and Grandpa finally sat me down and said, look, if we're going to make it through this trip, we need to kind of reevaluate here. So I've learned for every museum, we do a piazza, and
it's called Cafe Society. It's where you sit down with some nibbles on the table, you have something to drink, and you sit and you watch the people, because I love to observe people. I love to watch interactions. Maybe it's because I love photography, and sometimes you just see that shot with people, and that's why I enjoy it. I find it fascinating and interesting, and you can learn a lot by sitting at a table with a beer and some beer nuts or chips or whatever they're offering, and just observing people, how they go about their lives.
No. We just had a comment from someone, I won't mention their name, but they're in school actually with our grandson. And he told them about our channel, and they've joined. And so welcome.
Oh, welcome.
And we're so proud because our grandson is graduating in May from college, and we're very thrilled.
Yay. And of course, we'll be there.
Yes, of course.
So that's like one of the side trips that we take. What do we have?
I'm scanning the comments here. Have we done South America?
No, but we are.
Mhm.
And the goal is to go to Argentina, Chile, in December because
Right.
that's their summer. I
Or
want
January, maybe after the holiday.
it may be after the holiday, but I have always had a desire to see Patagonia, and that is just something I really want to do. And what a great way to celebrate my 76th birthday.
Oh, now we're celebrating every year.
Plan ahead.
Actually, the way Grandpa Scott got me really interested is that when he reminded me that their winter is their summer. So I was like, oh, okay, that's an escape from the winter, even though we don't have cold winters. We keep moving to the south in this country to keep getting, first we were in San Francisco, then Southern California, now we're in Arizona. We're running out of country.
He doesn't know, but I did this list of places that I want to see. And to accomplish it all, I have to live to be 100 years old. And I'm working on that. Okay. I'm working on that.
Yep. Yeah, well, we're trying our best. Well, that's about all the comments. How do you remain so positive? Well, living with this guy, it's not hard.
You know,
Oof.
folks, we have our bad days, just like everyone.
Sure.
We have the days where, you look around the world and you see what's going on and you go, how the heck did we get into this mess? But when you get into that position, if you just sink lower and lower, nothing is accomplished. And the only way to change big things is to change little things. And those little things usually start with you. And the best thing you can do is find that piece of joy or bliss or happiness for that moment, that day, and let it grow.
Yep. And when you meet new people, especially when we're traveling in another country, just making those connections, it makes you realize the world is a much smaller place. People are so alike under the skin. They have so many of the same values. And you realize if you could just reach out and connect with everyone the way you do when you travel, the world will be a lot better place and you'd feel a lot better for it.
Yeah, most certainly.
Who has the biggest sweet tooth? Oh boy, that is so easy. This one, let me tell you, we're making up Easter baskets for our grandkids. I have had to go out 3 times to buy more candy because Grandpa keeps finding it and eating it, especially jelly beans. There's not a jelly bean. There's not a jelly bean left in the house.
I love licorice flavored jelly beans like crazy. Yeah. I also have major salt cravings.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get a big bag, that party size of potato chips, and I could sit down and be editing tape, and I can just by doing this go through the whole bag and look at it and go, I ate all of that. Oh my!
And at our age, it's harder and harder to keep the weight off. And with all this traveling and especially cruises, I have my real task at hand to try to keep him from that candy and those potato chips so that we can keep being ambulatory and move on.
Absolutely. When I personally have dropped about 50 pounds to make hiking easier for me.
And I about 40 myself.
Yeah. And it was a conscious decision because I want to keep hiking and I want to keep traveling.
We want to keep moving
and be ambulatory.
And that's the best thing. It's not like we're trying to have an OnlyFans page or be in some buff condition. It's really to be in good health. And when you're in good health, you can be in good spirits. When you're in good spirits, you can accomplish anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's about all for the evening. I think we've answered pretty much your questions.
Unless you have any that you want.
What's our favorite food? Yes. Have you seen us?
Yeah.
This is us at our thinnest.
I love Mexican
and Italian. And an Indian, and we're looking forward to pub fare.
I love pub grub.
So yes, we pretty much like everything, and everything likes us too.
If it doesn't move fast enough, I'll eat it.
Yeah, we're honest. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight.
One minute.
Have you thought of going to Patagonia? Yes, we have.
Oh, yes.
Frequently.
Yes, absolutely. It is one of those things, as I mentioned earlier, that I want to see it. And so South America is where we'll be heading
in a few years. It will get
in
there.
December. I think
You know, as like we've always said, we are spending our grandkids' inheritance.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, kids.
Any of the grandkids watching right now, we're sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, it's going fast.
But we're leaving you great videos so you can always remember us. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate your taking the time.
Absolutely. We appreciate your questions.
And let us know your comments, you know, on how to make the channel better, things you'd like us to hear, to see, or do.
Topics for the podcast.
Topics for the podcast, ideas for merchandise. We love hearing from you. We try to answer, and we do answer every comment or respond in some way. So definitely interact. We love hearing from you. Your comments mean a lot to us.
Yeah, you can send your podcast suggestions or ideas to twogaygrandpastravel@gmail.com.
That's right.
gmail.com. And any suggestions for improving, enhancing our
Greatly appreciated.
YouTube channel, you can send to the same address.
And if you haven't subscribed,
Did we just lose everybody? If we lost you all, we apologize. I think maybe it did.
Timed out. Oh, there we are.
Are we back? Okay, good.
We're still here.
Everything went black. It was scary. Okay. Anyway, again, twogaygrandpastravel@gmail.com.
And if you haven't subscribed, we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and the notification bell so you can be aware of anything that's upcoming. And if you have any friends who you think might be interested in some of our silly little travel videos, we'd appreciate you telling them about us.
Well, listen, you're part of our big growing family, and we really appreciate you all. Have a wonderful time. Hope your spring is starting off with a bang, and we will talk more later.
Right.
All right.
So always remember, whenever you travel
Travel your heart. Bye,
Bye,
folks.
everybody.